In only 9 UFC fights, Alex Pereira has taken the MMA game to a whole new level by winning 2 belts and beating 5 world champions.
I mean, that guy is a monster. Absolute monster.
What we say about Alex is he hits really hard. And when those punches connect, you tend to not know what happened.
But in between all the success, Ottoni has suffered 2 brutal losses, including one at the hands of you-know-who and the other at the hands of a dude who ruined a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make it to the UFC because of a bizarre reason that you'll find out a little later in this video. That person, by the way, is Quemuel Ottoni, a 12-3 Brazilian fighter who welcomed Pereira to MMA in 2015 when Alex was a world-class kickboxer with little to no experience in the sport, yet he put up a back-and-forth fight against a more experienced MMA fighter. After getting teed off with crushing kicks, Ottoni bulldozed his way to a takedown, but Pereira somehow managed to take his back. A few seconds later, Ottoni scrambled to Pereira's back and threatened to cut off his blood supply. Pereira wasn't having it, so he turned the tide in his favor once again. In round 2, Pereira let his hands go on a multitude of occasions, but Ottoni was tough as a $2 steak and he took those blows on the chin. Round 3 was back and forth as well until Ottoni took Pereira down and choked him out to earn what would be his biggest career win in hindsight. In fact, the win would earn him an opportunity to enter the UFC through Dana White's Contender Series, but Ottoni would mess it all up when he'd tell UFC officials that he wasn't feeling like fighting. And that too, just hours before his battle.
So he went back there, gave him a pep talk, and the kid said, yeah, and then got his hands wrapped again. And then halfway through the second fight, Sean got called again that he was pulling out. Sometimes you don't have to step into the octagon to know that this isn't for me. I can't take this. I can't handle this pressure. Whatever his deal was. And I'm not shitting on the kid at all. Listen, it happens. You show up here and, you know, it's real.
This dude is the embodiment of shooting yourself in the foot. Nevertheless, after losing to Ottoni, Pereira completed his glory dominance by winning 2 belts, all while competing and winning 3 more times in MMA. In 2021, the Brazilian would sign with the UFC, where he'd beat his first 3 opponents, including Sean Strickland, to earn a shot at Israel Adesanya at UFC 281. Pereira had a history with Adesanya in kickboxing, where the Brazilian had defeated Izzy twice, once by a brutal knockout. Izzy thought that the only reason the big Brazilian was getting a title shot after just 3 wins in the UFC and 6 in total in MMA was because of the history between the two. Because on merit, Pereira didn't deserve a title shot.
People say, I don't deserve this shit. They say, oh, he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve to have all these money, all this accolades and whatnot. I'm like, fuck you, I earned this shit. I don't think he's earned it, to be honest.
Not only that, Izzy even claimed how he'd leave Pereira frozen like Elsa.
Trust me, he knows I put him on skates last time. And this time when I put you on skates, I'm gonna leave you frozen like Elsa.
Not known as a trash talker, Pereira stayed quiet and only spoke when he really had to.
Você quer estar aqui realmente?
Caralho, I can't understand what this guy is saying, man.
Do you really want to be here?
I am here. I am here.
The Brazilian did his talking inside the cage, however, where he secured a standing TKO in the 5th round to knock Adesanya off his throne, while Izzy promised to make a strong comeback. Pereira's reaction to his win was short and sweet.
Chama!
The rematch took place 6 months later at UFC 287, and Izzy was much more reserved this time around, talking less and looking razor-focused on his goal. Pereira was the one who did much of the talking and teasing.
We're gonna fight and see who the best man is at the end.
Ele me faz rir.
He makes me laugh.
The Brazilian even mocked Adesanya while posing with an Elsa doll.
Oh, you freeze like Elsa. Ah. Reach like Elsa.
When the cage door closed at UFC 287, Pereira came out firing on all cylinders, pushing Adesanya on the back foot and landing a good variety of kicks and punches to win the first round. In round 2, Pereira tried to do the same but was knocked out cold with a 2-punch combo from Izzy. While the newly crowned champion enjoyed the thrill of victory and claimed that their rivalry was over despite Pereira being 3-0-1 up.
Traditionally, right, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, it's 1-1 in MMA. There should be a trilogy.
I don't keep score. I settle them.
But I'm gonna say
it's settled.
Pereira went through the agony of a crushing defeat against an arch-rival. After Pereira's loss, some claimed that the Brazilian was perhaps too big for middleweight and the weight cut badly diminished his ability to take a shot.
And look at the size of Pereira. That was a tough weight cut every time he did it. They drain you, they sap you, they affect your stamina, they affect your recovery, they affect the training camp because you can't eat carbohydrates and you can't recover from one session to the next. You get tired as the fights go on, and more importantly, they affect your ability to take a punch.
Pereira listened to the experts and moved up to the 205-pound light heavyweight division, where he now reigns as the champion with 2 title defenses. Will Pereira's loss count improved to 3 when he defends his belt against Khalil Rountree at UFC 307.